वेलकम डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आई एम योर फिजिक्स टीचर अभिनव त्यागी। स्टूडेंट्स, अभी तक हमने फोर्स एंड लॉ ऑफ मोशन की दो वीडियोस के थ्रू फोर्स, अनबैलेंस फोर्स, बैलेंस फोर्स, द डिफरेंट इफेक्ट्स ऑफ फोर्स को पढ़ा है। लास्ट वीडियो में हमने इनर्शिया, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ इनर्शिया, उनके एग्जांपल्स को थोरोली पढ़ा है। आज हम न्यूटन्स लॉ ऑफ मोशन के बारे में डिस्कशन करेंगे। आप लोग इसको ध्यान से देखिएगा। ड्यूरिंग द गेम ऑफ टेबल टेनिस, आप सभी बच्चों ने कभी ना कभी टेबल टेनिस को खेला होगा या देखा होगा। So during the game of table tennis, if the ball hits a player, it does not hurt him. On the other hand, when a fast-moving cricket ball hits a spectator, it may hurt him. अगर एक टेबल टेनिस की छोटी सी बॉल किसी प्लेयर को लगती है या किसी गेम देखने वाले को लगती है तो उसको इतना हर्ट नहीं होता एज़ कंपेरिजन टू एक फास्ट मूविंग क्रिकेट बॉल अगर किसी प्लेयर को लगती है या किसी स्पेक्टेटर को लगती है तो उसको हर्ट कर सकती है। सो दिस सजेस्ट दैट इम्पैक्ट प्रोड्यूस बाय मूविंग ऑब्जेक्ट्स डिपेंड्स ऑन बोथ देयर मास एंड वेलोसिटी। सो यहाँ पर जो हर्ट करने की टेंडेंसी है या उसका जो इफेक्ट है, इट विल डिपेंड अपॉन द मास ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट एंड द वेलोसिटी ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट। सो देयर अपीयर्स टू एग्जिस्ट सम क्वांटिटी of importance that combines the object mass and its velocity, and that is called momentum. Momentum is a physical quantity that was introduced by Sir Isaac Newton, and this physical quantity gives a relation between mass of the object and velocity of the object. So here, momentum. The momentum of an object is defined as the product of mass and its velocity. Momentum is denoted by small p, mass small m, velocity is v. So it means momentum is equals to p is equals to mass into velocity. Momentum has both direction and magnitude, that is why it is considered as a vector quantity. And the direction of momentum is same as that of velocity. The SI unit of momentum is kilogram meter per second. We can consider here the formula of momentum, P is equals to m into v. The unit of mass is kilogram. The unit of velocity is meter per second. So through this we can consider that the unit of momentum is kilogram meter per second. आगे देखते हैं कुछ टॉपिक्स। Since the application of an unbalanced force brings a change in the velocity of the object, it therefore clear that a force also produce a change of momentum. So force is ultimately the cause which change in momentum. The momentum at the start of the time interval is initial momentum, and the momentum at the end of the time interval is called the final momentum. It means we have two type of momentum. One is the initial momentum. This is the momentum at the beginning of the motion, and we have the final momentum, that is the momentum at the end of the motion. Initial momentum को कई बार स्टूडेंट्स हम PI से डिनोट करते हैं, that is P for the momentum and I used for initial, and for final momentum we use PF, final momentum. So if we have to see the change in momentum, how much our momentum is being changed, then we have to subtract final momentum to initial momentum. So here we will get final momentum, that is m into v, and initial momentum, that is m into u, where u is initial velocity of the object and v is final velocity of the object. Final velocity of the object. So this is your final momentum and this is our initial momentum, and if we subtract final momentum and initial momentum, we will get change in momentum, that is delta p, change in momentum. मोमेंटम में कितना चेंज आया है. When the object moves, then it gains momentum as the velocity increases. Hence, greater the velocity, greater is the momentum, because the formula of momentum is mass into velocity. Here mass is constant. Mass is a constant quantity. So it means our momentum will depend upon the velocity. If we have higher the velocity, we will have higher the momentum, or if we have the low velocity, then we will get the low momentum. Newton's second law of motion. Sir Isaac Newton's second law of motion gives the relationship between force and acceleration. Force is F and acceleration is A. As according to the second law of motion, the rate of change of momentum of an object is directly proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. The force is directly proportional to the change in momentum upon time taken. We can understand this concept in the next slide. Like, according to the Newton's second law of motion, the net force experienced by a body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum of the body. If the rate of change of momentum of the body is dp upon dt, that is change in momentum, and if we divide it by the dt, that is the rate of change of momentum, so this dp upon dt will be डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द फोर्स अप्लाइड. हम जितना ज़्यादा फोर्स अप्लाई करेंगे उतना ज़्यादा ही मोमेंटम में चेंज आएगा. नाउ dp अपॉन dt आप कुछ ऐसे भी समझ सकते हैं, dp अपॉन dt एंड f इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू dp इज चेंज इन मोमेंटम. चेंज इन मोमेंटम इज फाइनल मोमेंटम माइनस इनिशियल मोमेंटम अपॉन टाइम t. We can take out the common quantity mass, then we will get v minus u upon t, and here v minus u upon t is our acceleration, m into a. So for removing this proportionality sign, we will use a constant k, and we will get f is equals to kma. Then what is k? Here we will get k is a constant of proportionality, and it comes out to be 1 when the values are taken in SI unit. When the values of mass is taken in the 1 kilogram and the value of acceleration is, the SI unit of acceleration is 1 meter per second square, then we will get the value of k is equals to 1. And if we put the value of k 1 here, then we will get f is equals to ma. So this is the relationship in between force and acceleration. It means the more force, the more acceleration. Again, we have this relation f is equals to ma, where m is a constant quantity. So acceleration will directly depend upon the applied external force. Some examples of Newton's second law of motion. If we throw a cricket ball and a tennis ball at the same time with the same speed, then the force required to stop the ball is more for the cricket ball as comparison to the tennis ball, because mass of the cricket ball is more than that of the tennis ball. So यहाँ पे कहता है कि अगर आप एक क्रिकेट बॉल लें और दूसरी तरफ आप एक टेनिस बॉल लेते हैं, दोनों का आप सेम स्पीड से थ्रो करते हैं, दोनों का आप सेम स्पीड से थ्रो करते हैं। तो क्रिकेट बॉल को रोकने के लिए आप हमें ज़्यादा फोर्स की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी एज़ कंपेरिजन टू टेनिस बॉल, बिकॉज द क्रिकेट बॉल हैज़ मोर मास एज़ कंपेरिजन टू टेनिस बॉल. So this is all about this example. Next, when two cricket balls of the same masses are thrown at different speed, more force is required to stop the cricket ball moving with higher velocity as comparison to the ball moving with less velocity. So here we can understand that F is actually equal to dp upon dt. That is the time rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied external unbalanced force as according to Newton's second law of motion. So we have the formula of force, that is F is equal to ma, and if mass is constant, if the mass is constant or the same masses, then the force will depend upon the acceleration, or acceleration will depend upon the force. If we get the value of acceleration v minus c upon t, so here the velocity will depend upon the acceleration will depend upon the velocity. So higher the velocity, higher will be the acceleration, and if higher the acceleration, then higher will be the force. It means we will require more force to stop a ball which have higher velocity as comparison to a ball which is moving with lower velocity. Now we have next example. A karate player can break a pile of tile in a single blow of his hand because he strikes it with his fast moving hand. The large momentum is suddenly reduced to zero in a very short interval of time, having a large effect of force on a pile of the tile or the ice slab, which is sufficient to break them apart. So higher the velocity, if we have higher the velocity, then higher will be the momentum, that is mass into velocity. If higher the momentum, the force will be high, and if the force is high, then this force will be sufficient to break this pile of ice or a glass slab. Yes, during the high jump, an athlete are made to fall on a cushioned floor such as the height of the sand, so that momentum is reduced to zero slowly and slowly increasing the time of impact, having a less effect of force on him and he do not get hurt. See, if there is a heap of sand like this, so what will happen when the athlete jumps over this heap of sand? He has higher the momentum because he is moving with higher velocity, or he or she is moving with higher the momentum. So due to this heap of sand, this heap of sand give that a sufficient time to reduce this momentum to zero. If they have the marble, then their momentum will suddenly get to zero, and for this they will get fractured their bone, because on the marble there is no sufficient time to get this momentum zero. A cricket player moves his hand backward while catching the cricket ball to prevent injury to hands, as a fast moving ball has larger momentum, and in stopping it, momentum is suddenly reduced to zero in a very short interval of time, having a great effect of force. Therefore, when a cricket player moves his hands backward, momentum is reduced to zero slowly and slowly, increasing the time of impact. Again, higher the velocity of the ball, higher the velocity of the ball, higher will be the momentum. And if the momentum is high, then the player requires some time to reduce this higher momentum to a level of zero momentum. That is why this player moves his hand in the backward direction so that they can get a sufficient time to reduce their momentum to a zero. Next we have the Newton's law of motion. First law of motion by using a second law of motion, in which the Newton's second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is directly proportional to the applied external unbalanced force and take place in the direction in which the force acts. So here we will get F is equals to ma, and the formula of acceleration is v minus u upon t, as we have shown here. So if we consider this like F is equals to ma, the formula of acceleration is change in velocity upon change in time, and if external force is 0 from equation number 1, then what will happen? Then this overall quantity, that is m into v minus u upon t, will be get 0, but mass cannot be 0. Mass cannot be 0 because every matter has some electron, some proton, some neutron in the and inside the atom, and these subatomic particles have some mass. So every matter has some mass. The mass cannot be 0. So what will be 0? This overall quantity, that is v minus u upon t, will be 0. If v minus u upon t is 0, then we will get v is equals to u. So here we will get the two concepts. One, if the object initially at rest, if the object is at rest, then initial velocity is 0, and if initial velocity is 0, v is equals to u, then final velocity will be 0. Or we can say that in the second statement, if u is, for example, 10 meter per second, then according to this equation, final velocity will also be in 10 meter per second. So here we will get a direct statement from the Newton's second law of motion, that is, as according to Newton's first law of motion, if the object is at rest, then it will remain at rest. Initial velocity is 0, then final velocity will be 0. Or if the object is moving in a straight line with a uniform velocity, then it will keep moving with the same uniform velocity in the same direction. If the initial velocity is 10 meter per second, then the final velocity will also be 10 meter per second, unless some external force is applied on the body. And we have also taken is the external force is 0. So from this we have deduced Newton's first law of motion from the using Newton's second law of motion. Newton's third law of motion. According to Newton's third law of motion, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, and forces are always found in pairs. This tells us that all forces in nature act in pairs. These two forces are always equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. These forces act on different objects. That is most important point. These action and reaction acts on two different objects. Like we can see here, the action is applied by this person with the help of this stick in the backward direction. So the reaction is in the forward direction, and this boy is jumping from this platform. It means action is in the forward direction on this block, and the reaction is on the backward direction, that is on the different floor. So action and reaction are acting on the two different bodies. With the help of this small rocket, the action is in the downward direction and the reaction is in the upward direction. So through this we have understood the Newton's third law of motion, that is, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Forces are always found in pairs, and this force acts on different objects and never on the same objects. They act on the different objects. The action and reaction have equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. आगे चलते हैं. Now we have some few examples of Newton's third law of motion. स्टूडेंट्स, आपने देखा होगा कि जब भी ये फायरमैन आग को बुझाते हैं तो उनके हाथ में ये एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट होता है जिसको आप यहाँ पर पानी को फेंकने वाला एक होज पाइप भी कह देते हैं. ठीक है. अब देखिए इसमें होता क्या है कि water is moving with a very fast velocity, so action is acting in the forward direction. So as according to Newton's third law of motion, equal and opposite reaction will act. So the reaction will act on the opposite direction. So that is why ये जो फायरमैन होते हैं ये इसे बहुत टाइटली पकड़ते हैं ताकि जो रिएक्शन हो ये उसको बैलेंस कर पाएँ और जो भी इनको काम दिया गया है वो स्मूथली हो सके. A swimmer pushes water in the backward direction, that is action. The swimmer is pushing the water in the backward direction. So the water exerts force on the swimmer in the forward direction and he is able to swim. So this is another example of Newton's third law of motion, action reaction. When a gun is fired, the bullet moves in the forward direction, that is action. And as according to Newton's third law of motion, there will be a reaction which have equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So the reaction of this bullet will act on this gun in the backward direction. The gun recoils backward, but due to high mass of the gun, it moves a little distance backward and it gives a jerk on the shoulder of the gunman. The gun is said to be recoiled. Motion of a rocket. This concept is based upon Newton's third law of motion, that is, the rocket expels hot gases with a large speed in the downward direction from its rear end. This is action. And according to Newton's third law of motion, an equal and opposite reaction will act in the upward direction, will equal in magnitude. Acting on the rocket pushes the rocket in upward direction. So the motion of a rocket is based upon Newton's third law of motion. How do we walk? When we walk on the ground, then our foot pushes the ground in the backward direction, that is our action. And as according to Newton's third law of motion, every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So this reaction of ground on our foot, in turn the ground pushes our foot in the forward direction, that is our reaction. This forward reaction make us walk. So walking is based upon the Newton's third law of motion. A book lying on a table exert a force on the table. These books exert a force on the table which is equal to the weight of the book. That is called the action force. So the table supports the book by exerting an equal force on the book. That will be the reaction. The action is exerting by the books on the table. So in return, the table will also exert some reaction on this book, as according to Newton's third law of motion. As the system is at rest, the net force on it is zero. Therefore, the force of action and reaction must be equivalent, opposite. Thank you.